Hello, everyone. I am Jimmy the Stash, and we're going to be talking about E3 today. And I am joined by two lovely co-hosts. First of all, we have Country Flyboy,
Hey everyone!
and then over even further, we have Chilenium.
Hello. Yeah.
And today, we're like I said before, we're going to be talking about E3 and all the ups, all the downs, all the perils, all the triumphs. So, without further ado, let's jump right in with, the best conference of the entire show, EA.
Yay!
Yay.
Unfortunately, though, you're going to have to give us money if you want to hear the rest of what we have to say.
$5.99, please.
Yes.
$599 US.
Yeah, so this one was kind of boring, and I didn't like it at all, really.
This one was a train wreck. And we all knew it would be a train wreck. Nobody watches EA for entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, unless
Yeah.
you're like a masochist.
Yes. They had... theirs was bad.
Yeah.
There was really only two good takeaways from it.
Well, we've got, the latest trend now. Battlefield is going to go Battle Royale. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I thought we would see a lot more Battle Royale games than we actually did. We only saw Fortnite and PUBG. Now, I know COD's getting a Battle Royale mode, but I thought this E3 would be Battle Royale Central.
It's true.
And
It's true.
I'm happy it wasn't.
Yeah, it kind of makes me a little happier. A little bit.
What?
Metroid Prime Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers Battle... Wait.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Wait, Smash
That's the
Brothers.
whole point.
That one might be fun, actually.
No.
This was the insulting bit with EA's. After they showed Battlefield 5, which is a Battlefield game set in World War II, enough said there. And they roll right into FIFA.
Yeah.
I was like, EA, look, you're supposed to put the intermission in the middle so we can all go to the bathroom and get a drink.
Yeah.
Why are you putting it at the beginning?
To get it out of the way.
But we're going to make you sit here and watch our conference.
Yes. I mean, people had to pay to be there, so...
Yeah.
Well, the journalists get there for free.
Some.
Some of them, yes. We're not any of them.
We still get to see it for free.
Yeah.
And we can skip it.
But then we get to an actual interesting game, like one of the only interesting games, one of the only interesting properties that EA really has. Unravel 2.
It's adorable.
It is.
It would look really adorable because this one's going to be co-op.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait for EA to kill it.
Yeah, well, this is usually the third game is the one that gets fracked up. Because it's usually the third one. So next year, because it was 2 years since the last time we saw Unravel, so 2 years, then we can worry. Although I am reminded, Jimmy, about us playing the Portal 2 co-op.
Ah, yes.
And with co-op games, normally you spend most of your time waiting on everyone else to get their shit together. But with Portal 2, it was me and you waiting on us to get both of our shits together.
It's true, yeah.
Good times. And we still never finished that, by the way.
Yeah, it was extra stuff, right? It was like the little extra bits.
Yeah, the extra missions we never did.
Yeah. But, that one looked really adorable. I saw a lot of people, saying it should be on the Switch because the main characters are the colors of the Joy-Cons.
It should. It looks like a Switch game, too.
It does.
That would have been really cool. I did notice a lot of companies going pretty heavily on the Switch this year, which makes me very happy.
I'm so happy about that.
Yes.
So, it is.
They followed with the only other game that is interesting. And I don't know why, but this game made me think of Mirror's Edge mixed with Breath of the Wild. because it had Breath of the Wild's art style, and I don't know where I got Mirror's Edge from, because it looks nothing like Mirror's Edge. But for some reason, Mirror's Edge popped into my mind, and that Sea of Solitude, it looked really good from what little we saw.
Yeah, I remember that sticking out to me as well. I did think it looked pretty good.
And of course, EA's got all the sports games.
Yay, sports!
Sports ball!
Sports!
That did not work at all. Although I will admit, sports games with a story mode sounds interesting.
They've been doing that a little while now, but
yeah, they started doing that a little bit with the football games.
my career modes for
also,
NBA or whatever.
They rolled esports into it too, which is not a bad idea.
Right.
It gives a little more traction in the gaming world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually saw my mother watching ESPN once a few months ago, and I stopped and looked at it, and it was an esports football game. And I didn't know what was more interesting, the fact that they had esports football on ESPN, or the fact that my mother was watching it.
That is really interesting.
That's
both ways, because you know my mother.
There. What's more weird?
You know what's really weird though, Jimmy?
What's that?
Seeing the Jags on a game trailer. That's what's weird.
Oh yeah.
They were
Jaggies?
in the trailer, and I'm like, the Jaguars?
Yeah.
I know that they did pretty good last year, but it's so weird.
Yeah, that's the team that's pretty much closest to where we are. Not in the state that we are, but the closest football team to us.
Jacksonville. Look, we live in Jacksonville. Let's just say that. We live close enough to it. We might as well say we live in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest place we live next to, so. Jacksonville, Florida. Home of Florida Man.
Florida Man.
That's
hours and hours of entertainment.
Most Florida Man stories. Most Florida Man stories come from Jacksonville, so you know.
Not really.
I thought that was
Jacksonville's freaking sane compared to South Florida.
Swamps.
It's even hotter, so all their brains melted.
I wouldn't know. I live in the other place.
Central Florida.
Oh yeah. The place where everything is a little...
everything is bigger.
A tad, yeah, where everything is a tad bit bigger.
Just a little bigger. Just
Texas?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, so, and then after that, they took a long time to apologize about the atrocity that was Battlefront 2.
Was it
Fun
really
game,
an apology, though?
But loot boxes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. Like, I never played Battlefield 2, but I played Battlefield 1. Like, I played the beta,
You're talking about Battlefront.
Sorry, Battlefront. I played Battlefront 1.
Although, at this point,
but
might as well.
What's the difference?
It looked super authentic. Like, I loved the way it looked. I really did. But, yeah, it didn't quite have the same, like...
It's too bad they fracked it.
Yeah. So.
Looks good.
Well.
Doesn't do much else.
I want to say this because after they got done with all that, they roll right into... They bring out 2 players on screen with phones, so it's a phone game. They put them on stage, and we spend the next 20 minutes watching 2 D-bags play on their phones.
Oh, yeah.
On some random game that they did not say what it was. And here's the gameplay. You have a base, and it's basically a RTS, but really scaled down, so it's... Sorry. And it's just... Okay, so you fight to control this missile in the middle. And when the missile launches, it will target the enemy, whoever's not controlling it gets hit with it, basically. And you can get hit with it twice. So this basically sounds like the world's worst RTS.
It sounds like a mobile RTS.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's not the best of it. The best part of E3 is the Twitter snark, when you're just on Twitter snarking, everybody's snarking. It's so fun. And one of the people I follow on Twitter, Chris Roxas Leonhardt, however you say your name, Chris, I don't know how to pronounce it if you're watching this, and you might be. He said the best tweet. I believe they dug up a horse in order to beat its skeleton to death. This is a Command and Conquer game.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't like. I mean, me as somebody who also plays like casual games or plays like mobile phone games, like it didn't look horrible to me. But I can see where tacking Command and Conquer onto it is just kind of a huge slap in the face.
Yeah, they just took the name that they owned and like, hey, we have this property. It made money before. Let's make more money on it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like,
you, EA.
Because I would probably play something like that. I mean, like, just as a mobile game, it didn't seem terrible. But then
have Command and Conquer thrown on.
Yeah, exactly.
As if it mattered.
Also, for a new generation, EA, suck it.
it's like if Valve put out a mobile game that was like this super simplified, like, you know, like shooting game or whatever, and then they were just like, it's Half-Life 3.
Well,
they might as well at this point.
Or if they did a visual novel with a lot of nudity and call it Half-Life 3, but it's only on mobile.
I might play that.
That would be.
I figured you would, but
interesting.
The point was, I was addressing relevant controversies. Anyway.
Every time I take a sip of my drink, I freak out. I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's okay. The tracking's not perfect.
Oh. So, yeah.
Anyway, they went to Anthem next.
Tracking.
Does anyone know what the frack Anthem is?
Destiny knockoff.
Yes.
It has colors.
Is it Lost Planet or is it Destiny?
Well,
who knows? That's part of the fun.
I haven't paid a single bit of attention to it because I didn't like Destiny in the first place.
I just want another Lost Planet.
I actually like Destiny
all
right for a little while, but then it kind of bored me. And like, I actually have the Destiny themed PS4. But yeah, it just kind of, it looks really pretty. I love the look of it. It's got like a map of the galaxy. It's pretty, or not galaxy, but
Destiny always looks good. It's just turned to crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just it. Bungie knows how to craft a really good shooter. Like, the shooting mechanics in that game were tight as heck, and I loved the shooting mechanics, but I just got bored with exploring the same map like 5 times and then go to the next map and explore that map like 5 times.
Go to the wiki if you want the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kind of.
But yeah,
they showed tweets during this one.
Oh, yeah.
Do we know if those are real? Did anyone look to see if those are real tweets?
I don't know. Wasn't there like dialogue that was supposed to be from like people playing the game, but it just felt like it was in-game dialogue?
You mean the First Division trailer?
Yeah, like that's just a problem.
Actually, I think that only happened in the Division. I don't think that happened with this one.
I might be thinking about an old one. I think there was an old trailer for Anthem.
I think that might have been a Division, but
yeah, that did happen on Division.
Anthem did it too.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, the first trailer for Anthem had
by
that.
this
point. The first trailer for Anthem. I might be thinking of the first trailer.
It did have canned.
But I always hate canned dialogue because it always sounds like it belongs in the game, and so you're thinking, oh, the people in the game are talking to each other, and then you realize, wait,
this is supposed. to
it doesn't
be
take you
person?
long to realize that it's not that.
Yeah.
All right. Are we done with EA now?
Can we be done with the train wreck? Can we be done with EA now?
Yeah.
Just look at Unravel.
That's it. That's all there was.
Just go check out Unravel, and you'll be fine.
And Sea of Solitude.
Yeah, just check out Unravel. Go,
Unravel.
Aww, and then
that's
just
adorable.
Unravel.
Aww.
I don't trust anything else. Unraveled was good.
All right, so now let's move on to Microsoft, but give me 1 quick minute while I recalibrate my face. Right back after these.
What do you mean recalibrate?
Yeah. What do you mean recalibrate? This is what we actually look like.
Am I a cat?
Probably. I'm a beautiful anime girl. I bet no one saw that coming.
Nah.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Okay. So, Microsoft, they opened with Halo Infinite.
Right. Yeah.
What a letdown.
Well, they opened with a very mysterious, like, ooh, what's this? Nature? Animals? What game could this be? And then they, like, show...
everything.
They show, like, Master Chief's helmet as a tease.
I mean, it kind of was a little bit given away when you saw the Marines. Not given away, but they were like,
Right.
These uniforms are slightly
Halo-y.
familiar.
Right.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
Now, Xbox, I was wanting to see the Microsoft one because Xbox has a lot of backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Jimmy,
yeah,
I have been spending the last week rewatching our old podcast on E3 predictions and reactions from 2016 and 2015. And it's interesting to see how some of this stuff has played out.
Right.
Because now we're talking about the sequels to those games that are getting announced. And what's even more interesting is seeing how much Sony and Microsoft have flip-flopped.
Yeah, it's true.
Because Sony's gone to crap, and Microsoft's the one to be right now.
Well,
they have a lot of...
I wouldn't say Sony's gone to crap, but I will say that Microsoft is like picking up the pace like pretty darn well now. I mean, Sony's still leading the way as far as like sales and things like that, but Microsoft this year showed that they're not playing around this time.
They have a lot of backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Particularly with old games that never got a PC release.
Right.
You can get like old PS2 games on the Xbox, whatever now, Xbox One X.
What?
And they have 4K graphic. Yeah. You can get, I saw someone playing the original. But... Well, this wasn't in the conference.
Yeah, this has been a thing for a little while now.
Yeah.
I
was hoping to see more of that. Like, you can get the original SSX on Xbox One X, and it's got 4K graphics.
Well, isn't that like the Xbox version of it?
Probably.
Yes.
So it's not really like a PS2 game, even though
it's
functionally the same game.
No, it's the Xbox. It's the Xbox version of the game. It's not compatible with PlayStation 2. No, it's compatible with Xbox.
It's just
but I'm saying is
those old games get new life through the Xbox.
There's games on there that only got a PS2 release though.
Yeah.
What?
I think I'm pretty sure.
No.
What?
No.
That doesn't seem likely.
No. Yeah.
You might want to get yourself a citation needed there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's it was released on PlayStation 2, but it was also released on the Xbox. But yeah, it's really cool because like I mean they're upscaled. It's all really nice and pretty.
Oh yeah, that's one reason I actually like the Xbox is because of the upscaling and backwards compatibility. I don't have one. I used to own one, and I got rid of it because I was like, it's not worth it. And then the next E3 they had backwards compatibility stuff getting talked about. I was like, well, there went that.
Son of a bitch. Anyway, they had a lot of games this year at Microsoft. Theirs was 2 hours long.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just get with like some of the better ones and just talk about those because we could be here for a very long time talking about every.
Luckily, a lot of the stuff there's really not much to talk about because this year I make the note document every year, and the past years I've just put whatever was in what conference. This year, I've actually gone one step further and said, right, if there's something in multiple conferences, I only put it in one.
Right.
And set a note that, say, like Fallout 76, see Bethesda's conference.
Right.
So that will make our lives a lot easier.
Yeah.
Especially when some of these games didn't have a lot to go on.
Yeah.
Like
Halo
Ori
Infinite.
and the Will of the Wisp. It's 2D platformer. Looks pretty.
I'm excited for that one.
I mean, I don't know about not much to go on. The game worked, and the sequel is going to be more of the same, but better.
Yeah.
So far, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's really not much to go on because that's kind of expected, though.
Well, they did show it off after the show. They just only showed a trailer during the show.
Well, we ain't there. We can't go to the post shows.
I mean, you can watch them on the internet, but
I ain't got that kind of time.
Just saying, like they do actually have.
Nobody got time for that.
They do actually have like things to show. I mean, they had like 50 freaking games to talk about. So.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. I wrote it down. They had, 50 games, 18 exclusives, and 15 primers or premieres.
Primers.
What the frack?
What were you thinking
the whole
of?
Thing's a primer.
Painting something?
Anyway, the first. Let's just skip straight to Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
I haven't seen anything about that actually.
It's
Have either of you played the Life is Strange series?
I've watched it being played. I've never actually played it myself, but I've watched it, so I'm familiar with the story.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, this would be a good time to play it since this one's free.
Right, yeah, it's free.
And this one, when's it coming out? June 26th.
Does it even tie into the series at all?
I don't think so. It's set in the same world, but I don't think it ties in. I think you see some references to characters, if I remember correctly.
It was really interesting. I was just like, this is... Because it's like all about...
Rugrats.
Like a kid using his imagination trying to be a superhero, basically.
It's Rugrats.
Yeah.
They went into Crackdown 3, and then Nier Automata's getting some things.
Crackdown 3, lots of Terry Crews. I'm down with that.
Terry Crews is being Terry Crews.
I'm always cool with Terry Crews being Terry Crews.
I'm really kind of iffy on Crackdown 3 after 2. The first one was great. If the third one harkens directly back to the first one and doesn't have a lot of extraneous details like the second one decided to do, it'll be great. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I never played
the first
Crackdown.
one is just it's just open world and the world is your playground. And pretty much like Mercenaries that was Mercenaries' line, like the world is your playground, but the game Mercenaries, but Crackdown did it way better. You could do just about anything really that you could think of. There are limitations, of course. It was Xbox One, wasn't it? Oh, it was Xbox 360.
Yeah, I think
it was a 360.
It was 360, yes.
It was 360.
Because I remember it in a Red versus Blue thing. They mentioned it, and it was
Yes.
like after HD stuff.
Right.
Yes, but yeah. So Crackdown 1 was focused in the sense that it was all about you using the world and getting in it, and there was story you could do for sure, but guaranteed most of your time was spent just screwing around in the world because there was so much to do. And it made explosions fun, it made leveling up fun, stuff like that. The whole thing was just fun. If they do that with Crackdown 3, it'll be great, but I really don't have a lot of hope at this point after Crackdown 2, and the fact that they're going with show off Terry Crews and show off all this and stuff. We need to make money on this.
I'm Terry Crews.
Pretty much. Yeah, what is it? Agent Jackson? Something like that? I can't remember now.
Old Spice body wash.
Power!
But yeah,
there's a new Metro game coming.
Yeah, I never really played Metro, so it's kind of whatever to me. All right,
Metro
moving on.
Stalker.
Now, I gotta roll this one, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, go for it.
You wanted this one for a long time.
Yes.
So I'm gonna let you have it. This is Jimmy's Corner right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome
Take it away,
to
Jimmy.
Jimmy's Corner. He's gonna talk about Disney.
Yes, Disney is my forte. So after like a decade, we finally get a solid release date on Kingdom Hearts 3.
January 29th.
So, yeah, they had a lot of different things to show off in this one. I thought it was really interesting that they chose to show off a trailer at the Xbox conference. I mean, I get it in a way because this is the first time it's actually been on an Xbox console.
Yeah, maybe my guess is that it's just like Microsoft is like, hey, everyone knows it's going to be on PS4, but we're going to give you more money to come here first.
Yeah.
They're like, okay. Or something, I don't know. There's some way they greased the palms and made it lucrative to go to theirs.
But they showed off Frozen, which I think we all knew was going to come because it's only Disney's most lucrative property at the moment.
Just let it go.
One of,
yeah, exactly.
Just don't do that.
I am more excited for Wreck-It Ralph World though.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I think he's going to have a world, but the thing that they showed in the trailer was actually more of a summon type thing inside of Toy Story World.
Yes.
That's
what I saw.
Yeah, but I think I heard that there will be a Wreck-It Ralph world, probably a la Tron. Like in Kingdom Hearts 2, they get sucked into a computer and basically go through Tron's world. So I think it's probably going to be something along those lines.
Tron's
Jimmy, on that, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I replayed the original Kingdom Hearts 1 recently, and that's the only Kingdom Hearts I've ever played. So I'm going to need you to catch me up on literally everything.
All right, we'll try. I'll do my best.
Jimmy is the local Wikipedia.
Okay.
I don't need the wiki. I need the freaking Kingdom Hearts for
Get him the
dummies.
Spark Notes.
Okay, so I love Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite series, but I will be the first to admit the Kingdom Hearts story is the most confusing thing I've ever tried to
It's not
comprehend.
Even that. It's that like all the other games after 1 and 2 were on consoles I didn't have.
Which is why they did the collection now, which I have all of them on collection. They did but for some reason they omitted Xbox, but they've done all the collections on PlayStation. So you literally have all of the collection, like every game on PlayStation now.
Yeah.
You'd think Microsoft would be asking, like, "Hey, can you shift some of that little bit of
I know
this over this way?"
It doesn't make
that?
sense for them to have 3 on a console where you can't play any of the other Kingdom Hearts games. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, it was probably the agreement, like, in order for us to come to the Microsoft conference, this.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. January 29th, 2019. A little bit later than they wanted, but I'm okay with it. It's not that much later.
At least we're doing it.
Yeah. For the first time in
up.
forever, we have a release date. And that's all that I care about.
For the first time in forever.
No. Copyright. No.
Is it really? Well,
we have a
European
date.
law, it might be.
This is YouTube
Disney,
we're talking about.
let us sing.
So yeah, and then they talked about Sea of Thieves, blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
Microsoft's wet beach towel.
Battlefield again. Blah blah
Battlefield.
blah.
Forza Horizon. I would be a myth if I didn't mention Forza Horizon 4, because I know I'm going to share this with some friends of mine that really were into that series, so I should talk a little bit about it. It's set in Britain. The idea for dynamic seasons in a racing game is something that's really neat, because I am a huge fan of world building and immersion in any game, and one thing that I think flight sims have always had over other games is the fact that seasons change and the world changes with it, and you can see weather from a distance and how it moves into an area. Right. That's two things that flight sims have always done very well that other games haven't, and that seems that that's changing. And with Forza Horizon 4, the seasons play a role. They changed the road conditions, obviously, but they said during the winter, lakes would freeze and open up new areas of the map, which is freaking awesome.
That is pretty cool.
It's set in Britain. There's a hovercraft. My only complaint is this is an MMO.
Yeah, that's
of course.
I'm getting Need for Speed flashbacks. What was that Need for Speed game?
World Race? No.
Was it? It was the last Need for Speed game that
it was
came out.
online. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
The online one?
Yeah.
Need for Speed World?
It might have been it. I don't know.
I know it was very short-lived, but it was very good. But
yeah, it's like
short-lived.
I don't think MMOs work for driving games, to be honest. Like co-op, yes, but MMO, I don't think so. That's one thing I don't like. It seems a lot of game companies think when we say we want a multiplayer in a game, they say, "Oh, let's make it MMO." No, we just want co-op.
Right.
Well, I just want to be able to invite my friends. I understand in some games you wouldn't want co-op. Why the heck did Tomb Raider have multiplayer? But State of Decay was a perfect example of this. State of Decay was a perfect co-op game, and it didn't have it, and that always irked me.
Yeah.
And I was always worried that people saying they want multiplayer, the devs or the publisher would think, okay, let's make it MMO, and it's just going to turn into DayZ. Thankfully, I don't think that's happened.
Yeah.
Well,
October 2nd is Forza Horizon. It's also coming to Xbox Game Pass.
All right.
Pass.
Yeah.
Xbox Game. The ghost of games past.
But Forza Horizon 4 is new.
Interesting.
Don't question it.
I question it.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's never mind.
Yeah.
This next bit, Microsoft decided they remind everyone how rich they are.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They ate a bunch of studios.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Probably actually. Let's see. The
Indie
Initiative,
Dev Cereal.
Undead Labs, Playground Games, Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games, which I understand what's going on. After the success of God of War, I think you're going to see more first-party games. I think you're going to see first-party games be a bigger thing. Because first-party games are not only selling the game, they're also trying to sell the console. So they tend to have a bit more budget and freedom than a third-party game from, say, EA. And that I will bet you money that you would never have gotten the recent God of War from a third-party dev. It would have taken a first-party dev to do it. And they're trying to build their first-party studio library.
I mean, it's not the first time we've seen a company just start collecting developers like trophies and like, hey, look, you remember these guys? They made something great. We own them. Now you like us. I mean, it's pretty obvious they're trying to position themselves with more first party. Their exclusives are weak. They've always been pretty weak.
They've not had great exclusives.
Later on, we'll mention Gears of War, but it's just their exclusives just aren't as good as they used to be. We're far from the days of Halo 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because they handed Halo off to 343 and they fracked it. That's why you don't let fans of the game make the game. Fans are horrible developers.
Well, okay, I will say that's not always the case because Sonic Mania, a game entirely made by fans, is a return to form for Sonic the Hedgehog and like one of the best Sonic games since the originals.
Have you paid any attention to Installation 01?
No.
Yeah, because that's a Halo game made by fans, and it's going to be released for free and looks fantastic.
This is the first I'm actually hearing about it.
You should look it up. Installation 01 looks really good. But continuing on.
Yeah, just pointing out that's not always the case, but I see kind of what you're coming from.
There's an exception to every rule, and Sonic's kind of a special case, but it's 75% true.
I'm going to call it more studio meddling than the developer's fault.
Publisher meddling, yeah.
Yeah, publisher meddling than necessarily 3, because I think 343 knows what they're doing, but they're always getting pushed to innovate, change things. I mean, they added jetpacks and stuff to Halo 5. This was after Call of Duty added jetpacks and stuff. So they're like, this is Halo. This is super soldiers. They'll have jetpacks, right?
The thing is,
jetpacks.
343 to me's never come off. They come off, when I played Halo 4, it's like, this feels like a Halo game that was made by someone who really thinks they understand Halo, but doesn't. It didn't feel like Halo to me. The only thing I liked about it was the fact that the Marines finally had what the frack is that gun? Not an SMG, an LMG. There we go.
Oh,
they finally had an LMG.
An LMG to the game.
Yeah, and the humans, like, how do you have fire and maneuver warfare without an LMG? It don't work. Although, granted, the original assault rifle in Halo 1 might as well have been an LMG.
A very
light
caliber
size.
LMG, more like a saw, a very compact saw. But anyway.
Well, I digress. We have a lot to get through.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep taking us off on tangents, but it's entertaining at the very least.
Yeah. So we happy for you. They showed that again after they showed it last year.
Can
really?
I say something on that?
Does anyone know if they ever fixed the problems with that one?
I don't know. I really like the story. Always looked really cool.
That Gearbox is now working with them.
I don't know.
That a Gearbox. They're like, hey, we had realized we can't do this, and we got Gearbox. Why Gearbox?
Yeah, that's a weird one.
They were the lowest bidder, I guess. Because Gearbox sucks.
The story always looked like it would frack with my brain.
I liked the premise, but yeah, I heard that it had a lot of problems. So
it was mostly the procedural. Like procedural generation doesn't work when you milled the whole game out of it.
Yeah.
Well, it can't. I mean, okay, you say that. Minecraft.
Well, that's also not really story driven, is it?
No, it isn't. So the point is there. Anyway, we don't hear the debate. We Happy Few. My biggest problem with We Happy Few is when they had to change the price, also going to Gearbox. So I mean, I think the developers originally had a great start, but things got too big for them. They weren't really ready for what it became. So they hopefully they have listened to their customers and they're figuring out how to make things right.
Hopefully.
I didn't see the trailer, the latest thing for them, so we'll see.
Another thing from PUBG, but I mean, PUBG.
They're suing people.
Yeah. You stole our ideas. Blah blah blah.
Stop making better games than us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
Tales of Vesperia.
Another Tales of game.
Weebs.
That one, I am a weeb, and that one looked fun. Isn't this?
We couldn't tell.
I looked it up.
We couldn't tell.
No, we couldn't tell. I've heard good things about the Tales games, so.
Yeah, no, I've been meaning. I've been curious about the Tales games, but there's so many of them I don't know. I'm assuming they're like Final Fantasy and that they're their own.
Where do I begin?
Things.
They're probably self-contained, yeah. Can you tell us about that? Are they self-contained?
No, I don't know. I've never played them.
The weeb has failed us, everyone.
Oh no!
I've never look. This game is this its first Western. Okay, they kind of lied about that. It did originally get a Western release, but there was like some advanced expanded version that didn't get a Western release, and this is finally coming to a Western release now.
Okay.
Playing with the big games now.
Yeah. Hey, they made it to a Microsoft conference, so they got that going for them.
So
yeah, that's true.
The Division is set in Washington, D.C. now.
Yeah, the Division is
Fallout
set in Washington, D.C.
I mean, wait. Fallout Division.
Hey, Fallout 76 takes place in Virginia. Thank you very much.
Well, it's kind of where Washington, D.C. is right next to that.
But it's Virginia.
It's totally different.
Yeah. Well,
Fallout 3 took place in Washington. Come on, guys.
It is different, yes.
Do we want to talk anything about the Division other than
I never really played it.
Boring to... This was the one that had that canned audio you were talking about.
Yeah, in the first one. Anthem still did too, but Division definitely did it, and it was just like, is this supposed to be actual human beings?
I thought it was.
Let's get the script out from the bottom of the screen out really fast.
I hate this stuff as much as you do, Jimmy, and I thought this was in-game audio at first. Which is that a good or a bad thing? I can't tell.
I don't know.
I don't know. Xbox Game Pass had some stuff. Another Shadow of the Tomb Raider we'll talk about in Square Enix.
Yay.
Session.
Oh yeah, a new skateboarding game that's not Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5
or Skate
4.
Look, I gotta bring this up. In the EA conference, during the Command and Conquer bit, I got so freaking bored, I had to open the Twitch chat. Oh God, I had to just to find something entertaining, and one of the things that was most spoken was just Skate 4 exclamation point. There must have been several hundred people just spamming that. So people do want a skate game.
Oh yeah,
apparently.
Skate games. I mean, are I'm pretty sure are well beloved.
It had a good trailer at the very least. It had Eminem.
Yeah,
Yay.
That's true. It did.
The rap god.
Explicit.
Pearl Abyss. What the heck is that? Beta starts in fall. It's an MMO. I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry looked freaking amazing.
Oh yeah, and it's an actual new continuation, right? It's not like
it's not a reboot like we. It's a continuation. It's kind of both probably. Yeah. But yeah, that woman, I like her.
I not surprised that you do.
Hey, she was awesome.
I'm not disagreeing.
Also, I'm not familiar with the Devil May Cry story.
Me neither.
I watched the anime. I've been wanting to play the games and just never got around to getting them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
but I am familiar with the fact that the guy in that trailer was not Dante.
That was Virgil. I know that much. I think. I could be wrong. I could be ripped up in the comments right now. Poor cat. Named
like anyone's going to comment on any of this. No one watches our videos.
Well, now you jinxed it. Now you jinxed it.
Everyone.
Good. Even if they tear us apart in the comments, that means they're actually watching it and they watched it this far.
Congratulations. You won an achievement.
Bleep bloop. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Yeah, so it's a Virgil. Okay.
Something like that.
What's that? How do you say that guy's name? Hideaki Itsuno?
Hideaki Itsuno.
Hideaki Itsuno. Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, he's back apparently. Because he was like one of the original Devil May Cry devs, wasn't he?
Beats me.
Probably.
I have no clue. They wheeled him out on stage and said, "We're back." So I'm guessing
we're covering
that's the case.
stuff that I don't know about. So
yeah. Cuphead
Skip
DLC.
You're excited for that, I'm sure.
I've yet to buy Cuphead, but I need to at some point. I love the art style, if anything else. Tunic, which is basically Fox Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
I am all about that.
It looks adorable.
Even if it is just, another Legend of Zelda game.
You would think Jimmy would be all about it, considering he is a fox.
Yeah,
he's not a fox. He's
apparently I'm ventriloquizing and being a ventriloquist right now. So yeah,
it happens.
Oh no, yes, it does happen.
What's Jump Force? Oh, Jump Force. This one looked amazing. Because what?
No, I
mean, got something to say?
It's another fighting game. It's Shonen Jump, and it's a lot of characters I don't care about.
It was
It looked awesome though.
See, here's the thing: you can have all those, but then there's not One Punch Man in there. If there's One Punch Man, there's no contest.
We don't. They only showed off Goku, Naruto, and One Piece.
Yeah, and they also teased Light. So
Light?
Yeah, at the very end, there was like a teaser. It showed Light's back. It showed Light and Ryuk.
Light. Oh, that's right. Ryuk was there.
Light
that's
Yagami.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So Death Note.
Death Note is going to be a thing. I mean, they might
What's he going to do?
Write people to death.
But that's just the
I got your name.
Maybe he'll
write the name down
after
and then
40 seconds.
That actually wouldn't. He'd be a good boss. It'd be like when a boss in Final Fantasy casts Doom. You have to kill him in 40 seconds.
Well, it wouldn't really be in character, but he could potentially use Ryuk as to attack.
Ryuk didn't do anything though.
Yeah, but
the inclusion of Death Note means nothing to me.
I'm just saying, to make it make sense, I feel like Ryuk would have to be the one doing the fighting, because I don't think Light would be a very good fighter.
Feel the power of my
just
pen.
Throws apples at him.
I'm gonna take this potato chip and eat it.
Oh no!
Now you owe me a soda that I'll give to him.
That's his final attack. I'm gonna take this potato chip and eat it.
Coming 2019 Jump Force. I'm interested in that.
I'll
wait to the reviews.
I'm curious.
I don't like fighting games, so I'm just kind of out of it.
I love fighting games when it's local multiplayer or by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
So it's like Worms. It's like a Worm situation. You play that with someone in the room that you can punch in the face when they do something insulting.
Right.
I don't have this problem.
I have no friends.
I don't have this problem. I do.
And me and Jimmy have a hard time getting together to play stuff lately. Even online.
Yeah.
Personal problem.
Most of that problem stems from the fact that you are uncontactable half the time.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. There I go. Okay, so Dying Light 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Dying Light
Zombies.
2. Zambos.
Yay.
Although this one had a lot of their idea is good, but we have to wait and see.
Right.
With the branching pass if it works out.
Mm-hmm.
Battletoads?
I mean...
Battletoads is back, guys. Battletoads. You guys like Battletoads?
Wow.
You think GameStop has Battletoads?
I like crashing against walls for half an hour trying to get past one level.
Battletoads.
Because,
we'll see if it works out.
It might actually
was,
be okay.
20 years ago? The IP is good, it's just it didn't have good games.
It is a good IP?
Oh. Are you guys ready to get into the cluster?
Rash, Zitz, and Pimple? Great names.
Are you
Very
guys ready?
90s.
Are you guys ready to get into the cluster that is the Gears
Fluster
franchise? The Gears franchise, guys. It's not Gears of War anymore. It's not Gears of War anymore. It's the Gears franchise.
Of pop figures.
It's just the Gears franchise. So we had 3 different announcements for Gears of War.
We did? I only caught 2.
Yes, we had Gears of War pop figures,
Got that
because
one.
that's super popular. Apparently that's going to be a mobile game, though, so at least that makes more sense than a console pop figure game.
Is that just going to be the Lego series now?
I mean, yeah,
pop
maybe.
figures having games being Lego.
I mean, it makes sense because it's like a super cutesy version of, these games. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Maybe they'll do like a kind of like Lego, except maybe they'll do the more like mature ones and just make them kid friendly. I don't know. It's
we're mature Lego. Mega Bloks already
there
tried
is no
that.
such thing.
Well, I'm saying maybe they'll make it cutesy, like appropriate for all ages, but it'll be like a mature game, like Gears or something like that.
I mean, that's Mega Bloks tried to do that too.
Yeah.
So.
But and then Gears 5, which was the big one.
Yay!
Which I haven't really played any of the Gears things, so I don't really.
I never cared for the series.
I played the first. I enjoyed it. I played a little bit of the second. I'd like to get into it more, but I just don't have an Xbox besides the 360.
It's one of those series like I want to get. I wish I liked it.
Yeah.
But there's just nothing here for me.
And then the one you missed, they announced a Gears of War Tactics game. A la like XCOM and things like that. It's going to be a Gears of War Tactics game. So
then the conference got hacked.
Yeah, the conference got hacked at the very end, which was totally not intentional at all.
Not scripted
Watch
at
Dogs
all.
3.
I would like to point out a really cool thing that I learned after the fact. A bunch of numbers started scrolling across the screen. And yes,
they
it did.
Were codes.
It did look like Watch Dogs, but yeah, no, it was CG Project Red, and those were codes.
CD Project Red.
Yeah, CD Project Red, and those were codes.
They had a letter. They had a whole thing. There was like this little thing hidden in the talk. I'll find it. Hold on. Just
okay.
talk.
You do that.
Okay. Well, see, the numbers that came up were actually codes for free copies of The Witcher 3 Complete Edition on Xbox. So if you figured it out, you got a free Witcher code.
Wow.
Yeah.
I already own the game, so. And I also don't have it. I wouldn't be able to get it. I don't have an Xbox One.
Me neither, but I thought that was a really cool thing. They were just giving away
yes.
free hidden Witcher codes.
CD Projekt Red is all about DRM free and supporting their games, and it would make perfect sense for them to just go like, by the way, free games. Have fun for the smart, adventurous people.
I always love it when people do things like that. I think that's really...
Yes.
It turned out it was Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
It looked very 1980s.
Yeah.
And it was CD Projekt Red's new game.
Yeah, they've been announcing that they were working on this for quite some time. So this is the first time we've actually been able to see footage of it, which was really interesting.
Yeah. So, that was Microsoft's.
Yeah. It definitely ended on a good note. I know a lot of people wanted to see that.
The car is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, that was a good way to end it, I think. Honestly, what did you think of Microsoft's conference overall?
Games.
Yeah, pretty much. This was the first time in the history of my life watching E3 that I wanted them to stop and talk on stage for just 5 minutes so I can write stuff down and snark on Twitter for a while.
I honestly think they were probably one of the best ones this year. It was a lot to process, but I mean, they came with it. Like they weren't holding any punches. Like I think that they were one of the best ones.
They went for it.
Yeah,
they did.
So then no.
Bethesda's next.
Yeah, Bethesda's next. Theirs was also pretty good, but we'll get into that.
Yes.
You're saying something, Chilled?
No. Hang on a sec.
Bum.
Whoa, hang on. Something messed up. Let me fix this really fast. Okay, I'm good now. Yeah. Hello.
What are we?
We're talking about Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
Walmart, the place of low prices and releasing game announcements early.
I like that he joked about that.
Yeah, Bethesda seemed to be pretty on point this year about making fun of themselves, which I think was pretty good.
Yeah, they did that so we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's why they did that.
Yeah.
They did it so we couldn't make the jokes.
Yeah.
Bastard.
So they started out by talking about Rage 2, but then...
No, they didn't.
Well,
they had a freaking metal band on stage.
I was about to say, they started talking about Rage 2, about to tease it, and then they bring out Andrew WK to perform a song. The crowd was just like, what the heck?
We're here for games, Bethesda. We're clapping out of politeness. They did that a lot this year, faking fake outs.
I mean, I thought this the song was cool. Like, I thought it was kind of neat. It was just kind of like an out of left field thing.
Yeah, just kind of, let's just throw this in. I mean, there's other out of left field stuff that happens later, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. So then they actually decided to talk about Rage 2, which was good.
Yay. We wanted
It's
Rage
Doom.
2, right?
It's Doom.
We wanted Rage 2, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I suppose.
I suppose. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
It's here now. Can't say no.
Yeah. I never really played the
2019.
original, so we'll see. I mean,
Pass.
it makes decent games, so
Yeah,
they know how to make a good shooter. So, what can you say?
definitely.
They then did Elder Scrolls Legends and Elder Scrolls Online. The only thing missing was Karen.
Yeah, I actually started
I don't know
playing.
who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either. Well, anyway, yeah, I actually started playing Legends a little bit. I'm really into card games though, so whenever I saw them talk about it, I was like, oh yeah, they do have a card game. I actually kind of want to try that. And
then you didn't.
No, I actually did. It's pretty fun. It's a lot like Hearthstone, as most card games are these days. Except for you have 2 lanes that you have to keep things in, and you can only fight things in that lane, etc., etc. But the really interesting thing was that they're overhauling the graphics, and they're bringing it to every platform they possibly can, including Nintendo Switch.
Cool.
So that's
That would
pretty
work
cool.
on
Yay.
I won't complain about
Accessibility.
that. I think it's going to be free, so why not? I'm always up for a good free game. I mean, there'll be microtransactions, of course, but you don't have to pay them.
Yes. Well, you hope.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. And then, Elder Scrolls Online.
Nothing to talk about there.
Yeah, they just released a new DLC for it recently. Woohoo.
We're not the ones to ask about MMOs.
Yeah. Then they teased a new thing. Well, I mean, not new.
I thought it was going to be Doom DLC, but it was a whole new Doom.
Yeah. Doom Eternal.
It's hell on earth.
Yes.
Again.
So, yeah, it's a pretty graphic little
Yay.
trailer they showed, but it's Doom, so that's not surprising.
It's Doom. It's supposed to be graphic. They'll have more at QuakeCon in August.
Yeah. So,
Indeed.
and then they were just like, hey, guys, Quake Champions, you should totally get it. It's going to be totally great. Quake Champions, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's there. You can play it. Do it.
Yep.
Do you guys remember Quake? You remember? That's still popular, right?
It is now.
Now, yeah. Now, the next thing they went to was some stuff for Prey, which I haven't played. I don't know if you guys have.
Nope.
No, but essentially they're bringing like a prop hunt to the game now.
Yes. One of the things I like about Bethesda is they always have stuff that drops at E3. And usually their stuff is this year, if not early next year. They're not talking about the stuff that's coming out. This year they did talk about long-term stuff that's not going to be coming out for another 2 years probably.
Right.
And they had a free update that night of Prey.
Right.
But the real fun thing was Prey Moon Crash, which is the new free DLC, I believe, coming to Prey.
Mm-hmm.
That thing had the best trailer. I have watched that trailer 5 times.
I haven't seen it.
It's really good. Particularly the last half of it, where they get an accolade we'll talk about towards the end, but they won with that trailer. They won.
Nice.
So then they announced the new Wolfenstein. Apparently it's going to be B.J. Blazkowicz's daughters.
Twin daughters.
I hope that's not a spoiler. I need to finish the second one, but
I don't know. They showed it off, so if it was a spoiler, it was a...
And sorry.
Yeah, I mean...
Eric dies, by the way.
That's not like, what?
Yeah, I mean that's what they did, so it's not our.
Hitler dies.
Yeah.
Aerith dies.
Aerith dies.
Oh,
Whoa,
Aerith
dude!
dies.
Spoiler. Jeez, that's like saying.
Back off.
That's like saying Dumbledore dies. Jeez.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Yeah, that happened.
What
else can we spoil?
Then they proceeded to show that like they want to put everything on VR because they have a VR fetish of some sort.
They do. I can't afford VR.
I mean, I can't say I blame them. Like, I mean, why not if you can? I mean, VR is pretty awesome.
If you do it right.
Yeah, if you do it right,
then you might as well.
I mean, I hear that Skyrim VR has some problems just because the graphics are way outdated and it just doesn't look that good when you put it in VR, but
Does anything?
Yes.
Okay. Well, was this the last thing, or did they have it? No, they had
a couple more things. This was the meat. This was the meat and potatoes.
This was the real meat. Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Todd Howard come out.
Yep.
And announced that they're putting Skyrim on Alexa.
Yes. Exactly. Well, and don't forget, they're
beepers,
also and pagers and the Samsung smart fridge.
Smart TVs. Or not smart TVs, smart
refrigerators.
Yeah.
I mean, Skyrim's on everything. Might as well put it on toaster ovens too.
Yep.
Yeah. Totally makes sense.
It was funny.
It was pretty cool. I would actually play that. It was kind of like almost like a text adventure, but just like in voice form with Alexa.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. It's like you take 5 points of damage. What do you do? It's like I grab my sword. You grab your sword.
I swing at the enemy. You miss. Well.
Oh crap. Well, I die.
I'd play it.
I'd find Lydia immediately because I want to hear what the graphic versions are going to be like. I'm
sworn to carry your burdens.
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Anyway,
carry my burdens.
Fallout 76 for real this time.
Yeah, Fallout 76. This one looked really like I didn't know what to think about it originally because I know people were saying it's going to be an MMO. It's going to be an MMO, and that's not really what we got.
It's an MMO, but they're taking it in a direction that's different from what you've seen games of this type do. So like with DayZ, for example. Big map, and they wanted to get as many people on it as possible, and that ruins it. Mm-hmm. What they've decided to do was make a big map, but keep the player count per map small. I think they said there will only be like a dozen players in any one instance.
Yeah, it's not going to be that many.
Which will work. I think that will work better. Well, that way it doesn't turn into a death match.
I thought he talked like you could play the game by yourself if you wanted to. I think that was one of the points he made was like if you want to play this by yourself, you can.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was a roller coaster ride because it's like, all right, I'm interested, and I'm not interested anymore. Okay, I'm kind of interested a little bit more.
And then another point that's interesting to make that you know, depending on who you are, you might find amazing, you might find kind of point or like bad, but like now they're giving you access to a whole bunch of nuclear warheads.
Oh no.
But it's like it's kind of like, okay, well that was like one of the most impactful things in Fallout 3 was you deciding whether or not you wanted to nuke that town or not. Now you could just do whatever the heck you want.
Yay.
Yay.
So I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. You have to find the access codes. You don't just get, you know.
Get a raid for them, and they're not all in one piece, so you have to do multiple raids to find them.
So it's kind of one of those, like, essentially, like, you have to have this key and then put this key in at the exact same time. Like, essentially. Not exactly. It's more code-based, but that kind of thing. So,
all right.
That's pretty cool.
There was a Fallout Shelter thing.
Yeah, Fallout Shelter.
I do like the fact that 76 is set in Virginia, and their trailer was good. Anyway, Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, Fallout Shelter, it's coming to more consoles. It was on Xbox. And of course, it's on tablets. It's coming out for free on PlayStation 4 and Switch. I downloaded the Switch version. I haven't really played it that much yet, but it was free, so can't complain.
It's cool.
Yay!
I want to pull a tweet from the one, the only Jim Sterling here. Quote, I would have said, at least it's not Skyrim, but Bethesda already slaughtered those jokes tonight, so I got nothing.
Oh, we need to backtrack for a second. We didn't talk about the special edition for Fallout 76.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Hit me.
The special edition is going to include a wearable helmet, apparently.
Yeah, part of like a wearable power armor helmet.
Cool. But the best part is it's going to include a map of the world that glows in the fucking dark.
Yep, exact words by Todd Howard himself.
Exactly. And that way, too. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
The crowd, he showed a picture of it, and it looked cool.
Yeah, so we got that. Yeah, like last time with Fallout 4, they did like the Pip Boy, so that was really cool. So now they're doing the helmet. Like they're trying to keep it look like really interesting. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you, Jimmy, for reminding me. Thank you.
Yes. I figured you'd want to remember about that.
Yeah, because I wanted to remember and I didn't. Anyway.
Oops.
But yeah, it's so, there is going to be a beta for it, by the way, as well. They didn't announce when, but yeah, it comes out at the end of this year, so that's going to be cool.
Cool. Now, this next one shocked the world. This was the E3 conference bomb drop, the mic drop moment that was heard around the world. Get ready. Bethesda is making a new, completely original game.
Yeah.
What?
For the first time in God knows how long, they're making an original game.
Yeah, they are, which they didn't give us much information about, just that it looked sci-fi.
It's science fiction. It's called Starfield. Now, this was another tweet, but somebody pointed out that all of Bethesda's stuff was starting with space stations throughout the whole conference. Or in space, at the very least.
That's true. It was. Yeah, all the little bumpers in between introducing the new games were all, like, space-themed.
Yep. So we're getting a game called Starfield. It's science fiction. That's all we know.
Yeah, that's really all we know. You also skipped past that they're actually making a new Elder Scrolls game.
Well, no, that's below
the sequel
Starfield
to Skyrim.
Not on my document.
Really? We all got the same document. How'd that happen?
Because they're making a new Elder Scrolls game. Elder Scrolls Blades.
Oh, I see. I misread something. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that.
It's interesting. I'll definitely give it a try. And again, another one of their...
Because that's a RPG.
Yeah, another one of their free-to-play mobile phone games called Elder Scrolls Blades. It's going to be kind of like Skyrim, but like on the mobile, and it's not going to be like a full-blown RPG. It's going to be more kind of like, I bet, bits and pieces, more mobile phone type. You get to make your own town. You can kind of make it how you want.
It's going to be interesting to see how the touchscreen combat first person.
Yeah, there's going to be touchscreen combat. The graphics are going to be kind of like Skyrim by the looks of it. The really interesting thing is that they said you could play it in landscape or portrait mode, which is... I personally like to play my games, like mobile phone games, how you would normally hold a phone, just because I find it's a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to not look like you're doing something. Like watching a video or something. Like, it's just a lot easier to hold. So I'm kind of excited for that. I'll definitely give it a shot. They're again, just like everything else, they're trying to bring it from phones to like PCs to VR rigs. Like, they want it everywhere. And another interesting thing they mentioned is that it's all going to be cross-play. Like, they talk about, like, probably not PlayStation because it's PlayStation, but they did talk like, you could be playing on your mobile and going against somebody on a VR rig. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Now, where I thought you were talking about the new Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, they just casually dropped that at the end of the...
Oh, by the way.
We're making an Elder Scrolls sequel, not Skyrim. Holy cow.
Sequel to Skyrim.
Yeah.
Not Skyrim itself this time.
So yeah, they just dropped that they were making it. They're really far out, I think, from releasing it. It's way off in the distance. But they just wanted to reassure everyone, yes, we're not just going to redo Skyrim for the 5th time. Like, we're actually working on a new Elder Scrolls game.
6th time.
Yeah.
So they gave us like a little video clip of like an area, and then they put up the text that said Elder Scrolls. So
overall, what do you guys think of Bethesda this year?
I think
pretty
they
good.
did a good job.
Pretty solid. I mean, there wasn't a ton there, but what they showed, it was clear and concise.
On point.
Yeah, on point. So I think
they killed it. They killed it this year.
Yeah, I think theirs was one of the better ones this year as well.
Yeah. Now we're kind of pressed for time, so I want to combine these next two into one bit: Devolver Digital and Limited Run. On the note sheet, Square Enix is in between them.
Yeah.
So Chill, did you watch any of Devolver?
I missed
Limited
Devolver
Runs?
actually. I didn't
Yeah,
catch
me
it.
too.
Okay. What about Limited Run?
Nope.
All right. I guess I'll handle this one.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Take it away.
I love Devolver Digital's conference in 2017. I'm going to pressure you to watch it, Jimmy.
Oh, I will
watch it
yeah.
after we record. It's funny. It's amazing.
It's like Adult Swim, basically, isn't it?
It's Adult Swim type humor,
yeah.
But it's commentary on the games industry and E3 in general.
Right.
It's really funny. Now, last year, it was really good because we didn't know what to expect. This year, I don't think their show was as good as last year, but I think that's largely because we knew what to expect this time.
Mm-hmm.
The show starts out with my future wife breaking someone's neck.
Oh, okay.
Well.
And then she proceeds to rip on the mindless consumerisms we see these days and the stupid marketing gimmicks often found at E3. Takes a stab at loot boxes and cryptocurrency for a while. Then sets a dude on fire for calling GIFs GIFs. That cemented her status as best girl.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's pretty triggering, gotta say.
She pulls a flamethrower out of nowhere and burns him, so it must be. And that all that was just the first 10 minutes.
Wow.
They still had 10 more to go.
Oh my gosh.
It was awesome.
Dear.
It was funny. It's not safe for work. It's all sadly true. And it's the beginning of the E3 cinematic universe.
Oh dear.
Yes.
I will say
they had a Bionic Man reference in it.
I will say I'm really irritated with this whole loot box thing for sure. And one thing we didn't mention that I feel like is worth mentioning is that Battlefield, like EA was like, hey, Battlefield, the new Battlefield game, we're not going to have loot boxes. Oh my gosh, we're not going to have loot boxes. And then...
But we are going to have airlifts.
They're going to have airlifts. And it's not... Yeah. They didn't mention that in the conference itself. They were just like, we're not going to do loot boxes, guys. How great is that? And, everybody's cheering. Yeah, they're still doing loot boxes. They're just not calling them loot boxes.
Going up. It's EA, we know.
But anyways, I just felt like that was worth noting because yeah, that's stupid and horrible and terrible.
I just want to move right on to Limited Runs. I know you guys didn't watch them. Theirs started out really good.
I didn't even know they had one.
Do we need to go over who Limited Run is first?
Yeah, we can go over really quick. Limited Run games, essentially what they do is they get the license to make, like, say, indie games or games like that wouldn't normally come out physically. They get to the license to make, like, a limited run of physical copies of that game. And basically you can kind of essentially, like, pre-order a copy. And then they'll send it to you. Like the name suggests, it's a very limited run, but it's a way to get like physical versions of like indies and things like that you wouldn't normally be able to get.
Yeah. Now, their conference was 30 minutes long, but it felt like 2 hours. That's not a good sign.
No.
The thing was, it started out good. It started out looking like they were going to be Devolver-esque, not quite Adult Swim humor, but at least comedy.
Right.
To an extent. They started out with a low-quality gag, a CGI Toyota Sprinter driving the host to the show to the digital cover version of Gas, Gas, Gas from Initial D.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
And then they had like a fake crowd. They had one real person in the crowd. Everyone else in the crowd was a 2D cutout. And you could tell that the stage was CGI because they did this gag like coming to you live from the Limited Run Stadium in wherever, North Carolina, but it's a fully CGI conference room and they're just live action on it. So they're going for low quality as a gag. The thing was, though, they could have benefited from Microsoft's strategy this year of just game, game, game. They actually did game, game, stop and talk, game, game, stop and talk. And that, for what they do, these are not their games, and they're all already out, really. So that just didn't work. It made the conference drag.
Mm-hmm.
Because the humor wore thin very fast.
Right.
It's worth watching the first 10 minutes, I'd say.
Okay. And with that, on that note, I'm going to have to pause really quick. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Jimmy the Stash here. I was originally going to have this episode be one long episode, but unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, I've had to cut this up into 2 separate parts. Now, expect part 2 as soon as I can get it out, but until then, you guys are awesome. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.